tracking the syndicate.
Yeah, last I heard he was 3 over par.
Last I heard, sounding like someone torturing kittens.
Last I heard, my gym makes money.
I heard 5.
You heard wrong.
You heard him. Those were his last words.
Last, he's being defeated again.
Last I heard, Joe coaches women's wrestling. POTUS is a win?
Yeah, last I heard.
I heard that.
Ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Last I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Lee Dempsey, along here with one of the third of the people of the the grid here. We're missing Josh Winch, but Travis Rankins is with us again here today, per usual for the gang. So John cares some family business, going to see the holiday parade. So we let him have the night off. Always crucial part, so it'll be missed. I was disappointed in his he had 2 lone wolves last week, and when it comes update, they weren't. He must have reverted his answers on here, picked the same that we did, because the standings didn't change. Him and I had the exact same pick, so he must have chickened out on a couple. Into some news right away, shall we? Last met before been benched. He was going to be QB number 4, maybe on that team. It would just everything. The next day after we recorded, he was officially released from the Giants, and he's made it past waivers. He's on the open market right now. Can choose where he wants to go. I think it's the Ravens, the Vikings, and the Texans favored to grab him up. So I'm very curious of how that will plan out. I think he will be a decent backup in system. I don't know. I wouldn't say excited, because most likely you won't see him. But I don't know. I'm hopeful for his future because I'm just a dumpster fire of a place to be in. Out for the season, got hurt this last week. Won't be returning. People thought Daniel Jones might go there, but he wants to go to a playoff contender, which I want to know why. And then
he just wants to get to the ring.
Just ring chase, like, oh, I'll be the backup. I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
I think you got to fight for a starting position. I think that's what you got to do. But I mean, I don't know. Be trying to get somewhere where I know I could probably have a good chance to start, like the Raiders. Go for like next year, put on tape that you're more than what your Giants tenure was, I guess.
But he might also think, if I go there, I'm probably going to look the same because it's the Raiders, and what quarterback does well there? I mean, maybe he wants a situation like, Malik Willis came into with the Pack, where he gets in the right system and it makes him look better, and then it could raise his stock. But
I do agree with like maybe getting to the right system, but it's like when you can't guarantee you're even going to show off anything, that's where I'm just like, get reps. But I don't know. And then Rodgers, I guess, pretty quiet on the news front in between. But Rodgers' future is undetermined. Was that on the McAfee show today that he didn't say that, he didn't want to be on the Jets or anything like that. Made that clear. His future was undetermined is what I saw in articles, headlines say. So,
I mean, the thing with him and what he says he never said, and then all of a sudden you look down 2 months and it's like, oh, this is happening, what they said. So I don't really, whatever. He should just retire. I'm over it.
Still be all right, but it's like, just let the.
No, I don't.
I think
Can be.
just the thing is, he needs to change. He needs to let an organization run itself and not try to be the guy, doing it all kind of thing. And I don't really know.
That's never gonna.
That's true. It's true. That's where I'm.
That's why he just off into the sunset.
To leave though, I guess, but I mean, I guess when it's time, it's time. Like, I think there's
one end.
Yeah, not every player gets to choose the way they go out, kind of thing. Like this is the way for Rodgers either. I mean, I'm sure there would be a team to pick him up tomorrow if he were to leave or get released, kind of thing. But
who though?
just another dog shit team like the Raiders. Like,
Realistically, for next year, who do you think he could really? What team is a contender
that's
that would want him? Okay, then why are you going to come back? What's the point if you're not going to contend?
that's like the Joe in general. Like, why do you go to the Jets and think you're gonna just flip a switch?
Because they
and let
thought they
them-
were actually be good. When no way, you can't just when you let him dictate things. It's never good.
and it's proven
Not
it.
everybody can say sorry to the Green Bay Packers organization and say, you know what, you guys were doing the right thing the entire fucking time.
It's tough pill to swallow. Those Jets fans just got the hopes for that team over the last 2 years, and between the Rodgers injury and then just the play of the Jets this year, it's damn, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Yeah, they're all wearing their bags on their heads. Whoa,
So they're better with Zach Wilson.
that's crazy. That's crazy. I suppose we best and worst of the week. Trav, you want to get started on your best and worst?
Well, my best of the week is Josh Jacobs. 108 yards, I believe, 3 touchdowns, and 26 carries, which that impresses me more than anything else because I'm used to this Aaron Jones get him 13, 12 touches a game and just, play this little dual threat running back system where, man, he's taking the ball and he is just running it down the throat. And not only that, Matt LaFleur and his schemes, man, this was a Malik Willis type offensive run game that we ran Sunday, and I loved it. They're starting to call us the 49ers of the Midwest now with our run game. So I love it. I love what they're doing. I was just getting hard watching all the crackback runs and all the motion that he had in there and the misdirection. I mean, I felt bad for those linebackers. They had no idea what was coming. So that was my best of the week. Matt LaFleur play calling and Josh Jacobs just running it down their throat. Beautiful. Beautiful. Worst of the week, I didn't really have one. I mean, we could go with the Bears again, but
Just yeah. That's what they're too easy. Worst two. I think it was just kind of the Jets just because it's like there is no like hill to climb even a little. It's just always down.
I got the worst. I got the worst of the
All
week.
right.
The Commanders kicker.
The Commanders.
I don't know his name,
Yeah.
but oh man, I do feel for him. I don't like to see kickers lose games and then after the game have to be like, yeah, I lost just the game and like, it sucks. Like I don't root for that on any kicker in the NFL unless my team is playing against him or I have a bet on the game. But other than that, I don't want to see kickers, miss kicks like that because it's just, man, you're out on an island and it just sucks. I feel bad for him, but that was the worst of the week for me, yes. Missing an extra point to tie the game.
Yes, I'll pick the Bears. I'll go with specifically Cairo Santos getting a second kick blocked in 2 weeks is pretty terrible.
So bad was the week of the kickers was the bad.
Yeah, just kickers, I guess, across the league, pretty terrible. Goes to a running back, one that I've picked before, Saquon motherfucking Barkley, 255 yards on the ground, 47 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. Me my fantasy this week, and I was down in the dumps for that game, thinking there's not a chance in hell I'm gonna do anything, and to do what he did, that was incredible. I mean, it was run and 70-yard run to just like, wow, like what the hell is going on, where he just found a hole and was just burning them. It's
Would you say he's your leading candidate now for the MVP?
big discussion this week for it, and I don't know if I'd say MVP. In discussion for sure. He's in the discussion. I think at this point, just from politics, MVP's quarterback now, and then offensive
done with
player
that.
of
No.
the year. Like, you gonna
No.
give a quarterback offensive player of the year then?
I think he's the MVP, man.
Huh?
I do.
Some people,
I mean, he goes from the Giants to this, and he just look what you do when you have an offensive line that can actually block. And I mean, it helps when he's really good. I mean, he's going to get over 2,000 yards.
yeah, most likely. If in the
I
past,
mean, did
yeah,
Marshall Falk win the MVP when he had over 2,000 yards? I believe so.
Anderson got it. That was
Yeah.
non QB.
I mean, what? Lamar's got 30 touchdowns and 3 picks. All right, cool. They got 4 losses. I don't know. I'm sick of the Lamar game. Like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know. I want to see someone besides a quarterback get it. So I think Saquon has earned it. I think he really has. On the other spectrum of that, if you're a New York Giants fan and you are watching this team week in and week out, the year after you got rid of possibly the MVP in Saquon Barkley, and possibly the defensive player of the year in Xavier McKinney, who, by the way, got another pick last week. I mean, if I'm a Giants fan, I'm never watching the Giants again if you don't fire the GM. I will never. We even got to see it on Hard Knocks how that kind of went down, and the owner's like, I don't want to get rid of Saquon.
definitely no go to
And
the Eagles.
now, granted, Saquon would have never done that with the Giants. Don't get me wrong, and Xavier McKinney would have never done this with the Giants either. I mean, so it is, you know, different schemes, and maybe they're better off because of that. But at the same time, like, dude, you had both players and you got rid of them because your organization sucks. Like, you got to figure it out. I don't know. That's terrible.
If you weren't planning on like trading him earlier to get value out of it, like Saquon, they couldn't trade because he was so they had a really which was I think just made the decision easy for Saquon as we saw in where it was, hey, you go out and see what you're worth and then come back to us and we'll talk about it and either match it or beat it kind of thing. Way doing business. Like I think that's like GM 101 where you have to put your foot down, and put your money where your mouth is. It's like, hey, we think you're fully worth this much money, and
Well,
it might be overpaying in the market, but he is the New
but
York
that's the thing, though. It wasn't their guy. That's why they did that, because they didn't want to re-sign him. They didn't want to. They didn't want to come with an offer and go, "Yeah, we'll give you $8 million," even though I know you're not going to take that. They didn't value him at the money that he got. That's the thing.
any idea what he was worth because they're like he's old in like running back, world technically, but it's like he's still Saquon Barkley. He's still the like premier running back in this league. I just think that GM had no idea what he was worth. I think that truly came down because you had money. They have money. They have tons of
What
money.
about Xavier McKinney then too?
I get just because it's like defense they have nobody, but it's like not enough to win.
24 years old.
Exactly. Like they should have, obviously, and like he was like one of the number one free agents out there, kind of thing. But I think
He was my number one. Like, want.
yeah,
We got him.
man. I think it came down to like their defense was never going to be enough with him or without, and neither was the offense with Saquon, with or without. But Saquon sells jerseys and gets people in the seats, like he was the Giants. That's what I was saying. Like I think that's where you're worth throwing all that money and everything to. So many people like in the offseason when it talked about like Jefferson, they're like, what, you could trade him and get blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no, you need to throw all the money that you can at him. He's gonna be worth it. The only way like it work, even if you were going to try to round it out, you're basing on a bunch of really what ifs of these like first round picks
Exactly.
that you would get rather than the guaranteed guy you get. Like it's not like it's a Dake situation where he's kind of ruining the locker room and doesn't want to be on the team and anything. You're like, all right, we have to get rid of this guy. And of course, we're going to have to use the pick that we got for him on a wide receiver because we're missing one now. Like, can't have Thielen be the number one guy, like, going forward. And shit, they got Justin Jefferson. Like, that's a home run. Like, I don't, you trade Jefferson, you're not going to get another Jefferson. There's no way. There's just no way. It's not going to work, So if he's the face, if he's the man, premier guy at his position, you got to throw all the money that you can at that guy, And I don't think it takes like a mystery machine or all this market research to really tell you what his number is. Like you can go out and pay Saquon probably what he ended up getting paid. Was it 8 or it was more?
I think it's like 14.
Yeah, 14. I was gonna say I would start at 12 right off the top of my head. Like I was instantly just thought 12, and I'm like one call with his agent that says, "Yep, 12's not enough," and I'm like, "All right, we'll bump it up. We'll bump it up." If you're saying 20, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Wow.
Like there's reason to it, but I mean, I don't know. He's too damn good.
The top 3 running backs in the league all were signed via free agency last year. Saquon, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs.
Crazy. How do you in top? Is that just rushing yards?
Yeah.
It's crazy. All these guys. And yeah, they're not like the most freshest legs as everyone, says. It's like, oh, someone turned 20 and they got released or whatever.
Man, Josh Jacobs pretty fucking fresh.
He does, yeah. And like Barkley does, Henry does. They don't look like they left a step, but it's like, I don't know.
Last night, Derrick Henry there was a play where they needed like 2 yards or whatever, and he's like in the backfield, and there's no blocking, and there's 2 guys. Stiff arms one, stiff arms the other guy, then still gets the first down, and I'm just like, what? Like, that's unfair. It's like literally a grown man playing against little kids, it looked like.
He's like a superhero, man. Like,
it's crazy.
Like, strength is his superpower. It's just nothing. It's like, just and they just tip over. Like, it just, I don't know. He makes it look so damn easy. Must be nice. I suppose we can get into our power ranking updates, shall we? Power rankings, and I tell you what, Travis. I thought for it I would move the Steelers down because I didn't anticipate for them to lose against the Browns. I really didn't expect that. Granted, what a crazy game that was. I couldn't see half the time that depending on the camera angle, you couldn't see anything. Couldn't see where play was going on. Couldn't see a kid to save your life, kind of thing. It's fun to watch in moments. Suck to watch in moments as well. But so number 5, yeah, I'm gonna keep the Steelers where they are right now. I think that's just kind of like a fluke game, depending on weather and then certain turnovers and stuff that probably wouldn't occur in a weather situation. Number 4, the Chiefs in a scary game against the Panthers. Didn't expect that to be close whatsoever. Thought that was gonna be
they make it close, man.
I just like I said, just keep them close and then pull the trigger when you need to with the Chiefs. That's all they are. Keep them where they are just because bye last week, right? So down just because they were on a bye. Bills at 2 and Lions, of course, at 1. Just doing what they're doing again. Keeping it down.
Okay. Yeah, mine pretty much didn't change at all. Well, except for the Steelers. I got them out now. I got the Ravens coming back in, even though they have 4 losses. Just because I think they're pretty good. I mean, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're pretty good, talented. Their defense actually showed up a little bit yesterday for the first time all year, so maybe that's something they can grow upon. Next, I got the Eagles here. Obviously, that was a clinic they put on Sunday night. I didn't even watch the second half. I went to bed because we had picked the Rams on that one, and it was 20-7, and I was like, yep, this is over. So didn't even watch that, but the Eagles are looking better. People are quieted down about the Nick Sirianni chatter now, so I think he's safe for a little while here until the next flare-up. Then we got the Bills. They haven't played, like I said, and they're just going to stay idle, number 3. And then I got an arrow pointing all the way up to the top teams, like that they're far away from these other teams. Then we got the Lions at number 2 still. They look like the best team in the league, but until they actually do it, they're going to be number 2. And we still have the defending 2-time Super Bowl champ, 10-1 Kansas City Chiefs, playing like cardiac cats, not looking great, still winning games. still going to be number one for me. In Mahomes, I trust.
It's hard.
In Andy Reid, I trust.
Yeah, I trust
In
Andy Reid
Travis
more than
Kelce's
anybody.
stash, I trust. Mine too.
Much. I don't know. You think how long do you think Kelsey's going to stick around?
This could be it.
It too. I think this might be it. And then
I think he should.
it's like I think the other tight ends too have been kind of stepping up. Like Noah Gray's been like filling in good when he gets his opportunities, you know. So it's like they can regress a little bit at tight end and still be a great team, you know.
If they win this year, I would.
In a row and
Why?
yeah.
If you win 3 in a row, you're probably not winning a fourth.
Argument to be the positive is just be like, let's get four,
Right.
you know, and then you're like, I don't know, you guys can do that.
Yeah, like I'm good. I'm going out to like. How many people retire as a Super Bowl champ? Like Tom Brady, you should have played that season with the Bucks. Done, because the next year was no good.
Dismal, too. It's like if you would just hung it up 2 years sooner, it could have been a lot nicer of a send off.
Barry Sanders, even though he didn't win a Super Bowl or anything, he went out on top. He was still the best running back in the NFL. Like no one saw it coming, and he's just done. Little did we know that, I guess, NFL running backs after 30 are done. We didn't really know that back then, but now that's the new norm. So maybe he was like, yeah, I'm 30, I'm good. Even though he could have went for a lot longer, I think. But
yeah, legacy, but he doesn't ever seem like he's that kind of guy that needed that.
He didn't. He just wanted to win.
But he didn't need it. Yeah, he definitely didn't need it, which was I'd say.
Yeah, you don't see that at all anymore in this narcissistic world.
Nope. Week 13, we don't have any bye teams this week. Pick'ems, I brought up at the top of the podcast. Nothing changed because Josh and I picked the same teams. Even though I gave him 2 lone wolves last week, he must have changed back to him real quick. So I'm at 127, him at 121, and Trav is just out. No longer picking at all, I see. So let's get into. I guess I didn't play the Pick'em's music. Maybe do I need a game song? Do I need like a week 13 like pick song? Maybe I'll write that down. Maybe
I mean, we should, if we could tie in the, the, and we could play it the whole time under the undertones. You know what I'm saying? No.
What is that actually?
I think it might be called the primetime song, or you could look it up. Primetime song, NFL primetime song.
All right. Yep. So I think game 1 we got 3 games on Thanksgiving, 1 on Black Friday. It'd be on Amazon. None Saturday. Pretty much on Sunday, and then the Monday game. So pretty much Saturday's your only day off of football, and then you got college football. Go.
Conference finals too, right? Conference championship games.
I don't.
Or no, never mind. That's not. What am I? I'm the rivalry games. It's all the rivalry.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because is it Wisconsin,
like Ohio State,
Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah. Wisconsin can go suck a dick.
Yeah. That's
God. They're so bad.
Yeah, I see scores every once in a while, but I'm not a avid college watcher. Okay, so week 13 here. I've been trying to save my picks on here too, and it's got like an error every time I save it. So I'm gonna be ticked if I don't get any in. But game I think we'll cover for will be Miami at Green Bay. I think this will be an exciting one. I'm hoping the Dolphins, with all their kind of recent explosion or success, I don't know how I really want to phrase it, will make this a good game. I don't want it to be like a blowout like the list Dolphins are, and then like the early season Dolphins. Like it's just, I don't know. Let's have a fun Turkey night game. Let's have it fairly close. Let's just have
No.
I want to see just a great game. I don't want to turn it off at halftime and the only people watching are in Green Bay. I want to have a fun game. And I truly think it will be. I'm still going to give the Packers the edge here, just because they're a more well-rounded team. Defense there, offense, well-oiled machine, I think, right now. Feeling very confident over the last couple of weeks here. I'm going to give the Packers probably a 30-24 win over the Dolphins.
See, I think you're going to get your wish, Lee, and I think it is going to be a close game because the Packers are without Jair Alexander this week again, and he's probably going to go on IR. I don't know if he actually went on, but yeah, I don't think he's going to play for the next couple weeks yet. He'll come back at some point for the playoffs. It's going to be just like last year, where he literally doesn't play until the final game. But with that being said, I mean, I don't know how the Packers are going to be able to stop these two guys. I mean, you got Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the outsides. Yeah, you can say, well, they're coming up from Miami and they don't play well in the cold weather, and Tua hasn't played well in the cold weather. I get all of that. But I just feel like it's one of those games where they are going to come up and they are going to play well. And of course, Lambeau Field isn't going to mean shit because we don't have a home field advantage anymore for whatever reason. I don't know. But since 2001, it's been dead. So I'm a little worried. I'm very concerned, actually. Yes, I'm not liking this game. Like, yeah, look at their record, like the Miami Dolphins record. It doesn't look great, but that's because they were without Tua. Now that he's back, they've won, what, 3 in a row, like you said? They're playing good football. I do think they are soft, but I think the Packers match that softness. So, man, I'm hoping that we play a ball control game again. We keep the ball in our hands. That time of possession for the Packers the other day was unreal. There was one point where I was looking it up. We had the ball for 17 minutes to their 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever it was, and it was ridiculous. Granted, I know that they were down a couple guys, but if they can do that and play ball control offense and make the Dolphins have to score and minimize their possessions, I think that's a recipe for success. So give me the Green Bay Packers to win this game 2023.
I like that. Yeah. The next game I think I got up here that we talked about, the Chargers here. I think it's gonna be another pretty evenly matched here right now. Falcons have been kind of up and down over the last like 5 weeks, I think it is. Not as at the beginning of the season. Usually you haven't said this all season. I think it's really been for my bit for the picks, but I think now I finally have to say it. They need to after like they didn't look at the Ravens, and I think they're going to want to come out and say that we are better than that. That wasn't our ball out there, and I think the Falcons are a good team to do that against. Kind of two middle of the pack teams, I would say right here. Off appearances, but I think they're nonetheless middle of the pack, and I'm gonna give the Chargers the edge here. I think they're gonna go across. What was it? Three zones here, all the way in Atlanta, hot Atlanta. I think they're gonna pull off a close win. I'm gonna go 28-26, last second field goal to win that one.
And you have who? Okay. Yeah, these two teams have been very similar over the last few years where you expect more out of them. They don't really do a lot, and they finally have new coaches. So maybe there's hope for them yet. I like the Chargers in this one, though, to beat the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're just a tougher team. I think they're going to come in there and show that the Ravens are a good team and that they didn't just, they didn't just lay down, but it was a good team that they played. So give me the Chargers 20.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that over his brother.
Wow, and one including the Super Bowl.
Well, yep.
He is his dad. Little brother.
Yeah, little brother is his daddy. It's a tough one. And they were asking at the beginning of the game too. They're like, I love him to death, but I wouldn't let him win wouldn't let him win a game over me or something like that. And it's funny. I'm like, you feel like you do. You've lost 3, or lost 2 at the time. Here we got the Steelers at the Bengals. Here we got a divisional matchup. all in on the Bengals, but I feel like the Bengals offense is more promising than the Steelers offense.
Well, I would all in on the Bengals when they're 4-7.
So that's where I'm like, Steelers didn't play their best ball last week. Just with Jamar, it just seems like they get points on the board. Out back, it seems like he's definitely taking some attention off of Chase just because of his talent. Going to give the Steelers the edge here, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring, close game. I'm going to go 23-17. Steelers, yep.
Yeah, it's not often you see 4-7 team favored by 3 points. That's telling me something here. Vegas thinks Bengals are coming back here this week and going to show them something. So I'm going to go with them, and I'm going to say Joe Burrow has a big game, and the defense does just enough because the Steelers' offense is that inept. Give me the Bengals to win this game 27-24.
Next game we got here, the Cardinals in Minnesota against the Vikings. One thing, and I got one thing only for this, because otherwise I think this would be a fairly close game, very tough one to choose. But especially in Minnesota, the Vikings Cardinals number for years. I don't know how many years off the top of my head, but I think I've been in the presence for a couple of them, and the Vikings have always pulled it off. So with the history in there, that being said, I'm going to take the Vikings with the edge here. I think they're going to get another win at home. Still keep that spot in front of the Packers there. I'm going to take the Vikings 24-21 over the Cardinals.
Yeah, speaking of that, I do have a stat of the day.
The
Packers at 8-3 are third in the division, and that's the best record by a third place team in a division since the 1970 merger. So our division is what we would say is stacked. Yeah.
If the Bears just had a better coach, they'd probably be 6 wins at least, I'd say. It's we next year might be the real year where this division really shows top to bottom that they're the best.
It'd be cool if the Packers finish third place, still make the playoffs, and then we can play a schedule with the third place teams next year. That'd be cool.
Right? Just have a season next year.
Right. Well, you never know, but yeah, I like the Vikings to lose this game. I want them to. So I'm gonna try to will it into existence here, and I'm gonna go with Mighty Mouse, Call of Duty Player of the Year, Kyler Murray, to come into Minnesota and make you guys cry a little bit. So I'm gonna go Cardinals 30-23.
All right. I could definitely see Mark having a game, a big game, just because the Viking secondary is just kind of blah. And Kyler pocket, like if he's forced to scramble out, he'll extend the play. He'll make some shit happen. So yeah, if that's all, I definitely see it. So I'm gonna deny it by any means. Next game, here's the Eagles versus the Ravens. This is a good one. Yeah, this is probably game of the week here.
It's a tough smash mouth football teams here.
I'm excited for this one. I think Derrick Henry and the matchup. See who's the top dog after this game. It's gonna be hopefully it's gonna be a fun one. Hopefully it's not like the starters get shut down because that's no fun. But man, I think once again, I think this comes to just being the most well-rounded team. The Ravens, we've seen and talked about their defense not really showing up in most of the season. Last week was the exception, but I don't think it is this week. I think they come back to reality where they've been, and the Eagles stay well-rounded and take this one. I think it's, like I said, going to be a higher scoring game. I'm going to go 33-27 Eagles.
Yeah, I like the Eagles, for all the reasons you just said, I think they're a more well-rounded team. I think they're going to be able to dictate the game a little bit more. They're going to have the ball a little bit more. I think they're going to be able to stop Lamar enough, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Eagles enough. So yeah, give me the Eagles 34-30. High scoring game.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we want to do the 49ers Bills. I feel like that one's just a layup for the Bills, just for how beat up the
Yeah, I'm
49ers are.
going Bills in that
Yeah,
one,
I think that one's.
especially with their guys if they don't play again.
So how long is Purdy out? Do we know, or is it just a week to week thing?
Day to day, I think now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks. I was expect by any means that the Packers would lose against the 49ers, even with Purdy playing. But when he wasn't, man, like that time possession, all being Packers and everything, that was just a boring game for standard, non-Packer fan viewers. It's just
Yeah, I really liked it personally.
those are always the feel good games for sure. It feels good to just stomp on people like the Vikings were doing at the beginning of the season, and then they calmed down, which sucked. Everything became a close game.
I didn't have anybody yelling at me in the stands. It was okay. So I get to my seats, right? There's a guy behind me to the right, and all of a sudden I see him like talking to his buddy, and he pointed at me, and I'm like, what are you pointing at me for? He's like, I was just telling him how much this guy likes to drink, and I'm like, what he means by that is I like to express my opinions a little too much, is what he really means. Oh yeah, and then throughout the game, he's like, hey man, why aren't you all rowdy today? I'm like, well, this game's a little more in our control. I don't really need to say much. You can just look at the scoreboard. We're doing everything we do. But he's like, no man, I love you, man. You're the greatest. So yeah,
In Travis Land. I have too much else for us on the docket here. I suppose Turkey Day. I think we did it a couple of years ago, like our favorite sides. Circle back on that. No, Winch isn't here to bring up his own. But what's your go-to? I'm gonna say, what's your go-to side and dessert? I'm gonna ask.
I mean, for me, it's stuffing. I mean, I love mashed potatoes and all that, but I have mashed potatoes throughout. I don't have stuffing very often. So it's kind of a treat to have. I usually only have it about twice a year. Christmas maybe and Thanksgiving, and that's about it. So I look forward to the stuffing as my number one side.
Is it often like box stuffing, or is it from scratch? You have it.
Stuffing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
Fine.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it
matter.
is. Yep. I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you.
And then you put a little gravy on that. Nom nom nom.
I'm hoping to eat 75% of the stuffing. That's around this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for my dessert, it's pumpkin pie. Just the standard cream on the pumpkin pie. This year we're gonna do Cool Whip. Cool Whip, actually. Cool.
All right. I like it. Yeah, I'm a stuffing guy for sure. That is definitely number one. I had a dessert emptier. It was it's pecan pie. I never had that before until this year. My new favorite pie, and I'm gonna make it just myself because I want it so good, so bad. It was so good. When I had it, I was like, this is like candy. I was like, this is candy pie. It's not even. That's not what I thought pecan pie was at all. So it's pretty phenomenal. I about it. That's for sure.
All right. Brand new.
Yeah, absolutely. Said everyone, make sure. Oh,
Wait. So the Packers do these videos where they're walking back from practice, and they'll ask them a question, or they'll have like a board thing where it's a question you talk into the camera or whatever, and they'll say like, so one's got to go, and they have like the options is turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese. And like some of these guys were like, the turkey's got to go, and I'm like, isn't that like the main dish? The whole like mac and cheese craze all of a sudden, like I don't get it. Like I never had mac and cheese during Thanksgiving, so I don't understand the whole mac and cheese. It's a staple in everybody's house now. I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural thing.
I think it is.
I don't. But how do you say no to the turkey? Like that's the one that's got to go. Like that's Jordan Love said that, and I was like, no wonder they didn't have a turkey for you last year. Remember that?
that.
He was the player of the game, and then they didn't have a turkey. All of a sudden, the first time like ever, Fox doesn't have a turkey where he's like eating the turkey because Greg Olson like ruined it. He like was ripping it apart himself, and then they didn't have another turkey. Apparently, it was a big fiasco. Actually, it was a big deal.
I don't remember
It was
that.
kind of some bullshit.
Not at all. That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
I've always heard the turkey down there is terrible, though. Everyone's always said it's disgusting. Like, I don't know.
That's because they usually have a turducken. Like, I don't want that shit. I want
Yeah.
regular fucking turkey.
Yeah.
I don't want no turducken.
It's
Turkey, chicken, and a duck. I'm good.
the other's ass like this.
I'm not a duck guy, so
Duck. I don't know.
it seems like isn't that like dark meat?
Never had it. Never had it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people's thoughts on it's. I mean, it's not done the best. Like I would say where it just gets dry.
You gotta get it moist,
Yeah. Yep. Like.
and it's sometimes it does suck when you get it too dry, man. It's like
Yeah, people being like just too many bad experiences with it where they're like, I'll just pass it. But man, if you have it good, you have it moist, it's worth it. It's good. On a more gravy, it's phenomenal.
and then yeah, just put some gravy on it if it's a little. It's fine.
Exactly.
Man, I'm so hungry right now, dude.
You're Thursday then for sure, or are you one of those where like it'll be Friday or Saturday or whenever?
Thursday.
Yeah, that's what we'll do too. Yeah, some people jump
And
around.
trying to go to the game here. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see.
All right. Well, I hope the best of luck to you, man, and happy holidays to you, your family, and everyone listening. Thank watching, rate and review, sharing, and yeah, I guess that's the last I heard.
Happy Thanksgiving. Peace.